The LCZ Broadcasting Company and your favorite commercials bring you The Adventures of Brick Benson, Ace Detective.
Don't depend on artificial aids to counteract indigestion when Carter's Little Liver Pills aid digestion after nature's own order. Take Carter's Little Liver Pills as directed.
Yeah, my name's Benson, Brick Benson. That's what the sign on my office door says, Brick Benson, Ace Detective. In my line of work, you really never have a close friend. You just kind of rent them and keep an eye on them, make sure they aren't poking holes in you when they're slapping you on the back. Good friends are rare and as undependable as paper underwear. I felt certain Khabib would help me out of this jam somehow, but I could not for the life of me figure out why I turned to him to break into Monica's apartment. He is a doctor and a very honest man. While driving to the bar, I had a weird feeling that something was wrong, and I still had a splitting headache. It seemed that I should be going to see Dr. Khabib about that, rather than to ask him to commit a burglary for me. I hadn't been in the downtown area of Fort Myers where Khabib's bar was located for a long time. And for that matter, I don't recall ever being at his bar or even knowing when he invested in one. When I drove up, I was almost certain that the bar was at the exact location where the Lee Memorial Hospital had been located since 1943. I thought, well, Fort Myers is one of the fastest growing cities in the country, and I was just probably not aware of a recent location of the hospital. When I first walked into the bar, I had another surreal experience. Khabib must have been having a costume party. People looked odd. Some were dressed as doctors and nurses, others looked like injured people. I noticed a strange-looking woman who I thought was looking at me. I wasn't sure because she had Jack Elam-style eyes, if there's such a thing as eye styles. She was so wall-eyed she could probably see the left and right wall of any room she walked into simultaneously. She was coming out of a hallway across from me. She wobbled towards me ungracefully, as if she were testing out new stilts. Then I noticed she was on crutches. It turned out she wasn't even focused on me. She was shooting for the door behind me. She staggered past me and exited the bar, and I breathed a sigh of relief. I saw Khabib seated at the end of the bar chatting with, or more like at, one of his bartenders, who was in the process of coughing up a lung and looked like he had just gotten up off a mortician's table. There was an open seat next to Khabib, so I pulled up the bar stool and I sat down next to him. Hey there, Khabib. Sorry I missed your birthday last week. Happy belated, my friend.
Oh, my golly gosh, I am standing here beside myself with happiness. My old friend, Brick Benson. Thank you. You are just in time to help me celebrate my birthday last week. Tonight, Brick, I want you to meet my best bartender. His name is Harry. Harry, this is my good friend, Brick Benson. He is a private eyeballs. You can hire him and he can find things for you.
No, Habib, I'm a private eye. Harry, I'm a private investigator. Private eye, not private eyeballs. It's just one eye.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brick. Just one eye, no balls, Harry.
Whoa, are you all right, Harry? He doesn't look so good. Habib, you're a doctor, can you?
Are you stereotyping me, Brick?
Well, it's 1949, of course I am. But you are a doctor, Khabib.
Oh, you're right, Brick. I am a doctor. And because I am a doctor, I can tell you Harry is just fine. I think he just needs a smoke break. He's been standing there behind the bar for 12 hours today. He's working a double shift.
Harry. Hey, Harry! Good Lord, Harry, can I get you something? Water, or maybe an ambulance?
Brick, I think you're making a mountain out of a mole's hair. Harry is all right. He has a date tonight with his girlfriend, Larissa, after he gets off work. She's that cute little blonde over there.
What? Khabib, she's got to be in her 20s. Harry's got to be, 90?
Oh, no, Brick. Harry is only 83. He looks young because he keeps in such good shape. Larissa is 24. Harry is your personal trainer. Larissa just graduated from college.
Medical school, I hope. Harry. Oh, good Lord. Harry, could you get me a Fanta Cola with ice, please?
Brick only drinks Fanta straight, Harry, because he is what they call a teetotaler. And Harry, I would like a Johnny Walker and Fanta on the rocks, please, and put it all on the house tap.
Khabib. Hey, Khabib, he's really struggling with that bottle. Harry, I could come back there and help you open that bottle if you'd like.
There, you see, Brick, I told you, he's very strong and healthy. He goes to the gym, lifts weights, runs 2 miles every day, and then he drains Teresa.
I think it's more like Teresa drains him. Does he work out just so he can open bottles every day?
Oh, no, Brick. He works out so he can keep up with Teresa every night.
Oh, good Lord.
Harry, we would like those drinks sometime tonight, please. Put them all on the house tap, please.
Look, Khabib, I came here tonight because I really have to talk to you.
Well, of course, Brick. I am always there for you, you know that.
Yes, Khabib, I know I can always count on you.
Well, of course, Brick. What is the problem?
Khabib, I'm in a tough spot and I really need your help.
I am so sorry to hear you are having some difficulty, Brick. What is the problem?
Well, I'm in a real tough situation, Khabib, and that's why I need you.
For the loving of Pete, Brick, I wish you would quit peeing in the bushes and tell me what is the problem.
Well, I killed a guy this evening, I thought I killed him.
Oh, my golly, I take it back. I would rather you just keep peeing in the bushes. So tell me, did you kill him or did you not kill him? What are you going to do, flip a coin, Brick?
Listen, Khabib, I got hired to scare a guy tonight. 10 minutes later, I ended up shooting him.
So tell me, Brick, was the guy alive before you shot him?
Well, yeah.
Was the guy dead after you shot him?
Yes.
Well then, it is my opinion as a doctor that you did kill him.
Well, it does look that way, and that's my problem, Khabib. We got into a stupid argument over words and numbers of words, and I was sure that timetable was 2 words.
Timetable is 1 word, Brick.
I know that now. That doesn't matter.
So, Brick, you killed a man over the spelling of a word? I think you take spelling too seriously, Brick. Couldn't you have just scared him into having a heart attack instead of shooting him?
Khabib, just listen, will you? The problem is that it turned into a fight, and somehow the fight grew bullets. Well, 1 bullet anyway.
Remind me not to get into an argument with you about spelling.
Anyway, look, Chief O'Malley walked in right after it happened, and you know how O'Malley is. He follows me around like a boil on my butt. He said he got a telephone tip about the shooting.
Well, my friend, he does hold a grudge against you for breaking in and stealing his house.
I did not steal his house, Khabib. I was just gonna, borrow it, for a while he was on vacation. He wouldn't even have known it, except it turns out he was leaving until later in the day, and I I just kind of walked in on him and his wife, frolicking in the living room at 4 a.m.
Oh, I think that you are lucky he did not kill you, Brick. You should have asked him if you could borrow his house and have avoided to seeing the frolicking.
Well, I didn't.
Well, then I must say that you did break in and steal his house, and as a consequence, interrupted their frolicking. So, what are you going to do besides go to the electric chair, Brick?
Well, I'm trying to avoid that, Khabib. Look, I need your help. O'Malley booked me on suspicion of murder, but luckily the whole thing backfired on him down at headquarters. The bullet they pulled out of the stiff and the phony gun I was carrying didn't match up. It doesn't make sense, Khabib. That tip-off to Chief O'Malley proves it. I was set up and framed.
So, who is the dead guy you killed?
Just some mug who couldn't tolerate a hole in his belly. His name is supposed to be Tony Goomba, but there was no identification on him, and they couldn't find any record of him.
Well, Brick, my advice to you is that you should not have either Zazad as a hitman.
It's not advice after the fact, Khabib.
Well, you did not come to me for my before-the-fact advice, so my after-the-fact advice will have to serve as my before-the-fact advice.
I don't need any advice right now, Khabib. It's too late for that. I need your help. I'm telling you, I didn't hire out as a hitman. It was somebody else's idea, Khabib.
Well, yes, of course, Brick. I will help you. If you don't need advice, what sort of help do you need?
I want you to break into a girl's apartment for me. Don't depend on artificial aids to counteract indigestion.
when Carter's Little Liver Pills aid digestion after nature's own order. Take Carter's Little Liver Pills as directed. Get them at any drugstore, only 25 cents.
Khabib was full of advice on my ideas and my problem with Chief O'Malley. But like I told him, advice was not what I needed at this point. Advice was not going to get me out of this mess I was in. What I needed was hard evidence of something to prove that I didn't kill Tony Goomba, well, at least intentionally, and hopefully that someone, possibly Monica, had set me up somehow to make it look like I'd killed him. The one thing I had going for me was that the bullet that killed Goomba did not come from the gun that Monica gave me. But O'Malley was hell-bent on pinning a Murder One rap on me regardless. This thing was turning out to be a real nightmare, where facts and reality just didn't line up.
Let me get this straight, Rick. You say you want me to break into a girl's apartment?
Yes.
Would you by any chance be open to some before-the-fact advice on that, Rick?
No.
Well, okay, but do not come back to me complaining after the fact. So, you are serious about wanting me to break into a girl's apartment?
Don't worry about it, Khabib. She won't be home.
So, the girl will not be home?
No.
Is that supposed to be some sort of incentive?
Khabib, here's her address. Her name is Monica Charday. She's the gal who hired me.
And if the girl is not there, what am I supposed to find?
Find anything that will connect her with a dead guy. He's a short guy, too short to support his bad attitude. About 5'3" maybe. He had a bad tattoo of a scar on his forehead.
He had a bad tattoo of a scar? That doesn't help me much, my friend.
Khabib, how many men are running around with a tattoo of a scar on their forehead?
I honestly don't know. But this is Southwest Florida, Brick, so it could be a lot.
You got a point there. Look, just go through her drawers, pick up everything you can, will you, and leave a message at my place.
You want me to go through her drawers, you say? You want me to pick up everything in her drawers? I like you a lot, Brick, but you are a very strange man.
Hurry up, will you, Khabib? Your glass is empty.
Huh. I can see that. Harry never bought us our drinks.
You're right. Fine place you're running here, Khabib.
Oh, thank you, Brick. We were voted best bar in Fort Myers last month.
After Khabib and I left the bar, I went by a Greasy Spoon on Elm Street and borrowed a car from a guy who works there who owed me a favor. It was after midnight when I started down Estero Boulevard. About a half an hour later, I pulled up in front of the Cat's Meow. It was a long, rambling place on the left side of the road that used to be a warehouse. There was so much neon and noise outside, it was like New Orleans at Mardi Gras, without the musky smell of shrimp and vomit and the periodic wafts of horse droppings, all on about an acre of sand. As I entered the lobby, I saw a picture of Monica Charday seated at a piano. When I went in the lounge, I saw her sitting at a white baby grand looking like she just posed for the picture. She had a voice as sweet as warm buttered biscuits, and when she looked at me, I felt she was massaging my soul with her biscuits. Well, you know what I mean. Her hawk-like amber eyes were warm and welcoming, while at the same time menacing. They reminded me that this lovely creature could be a bird of prey with a stomach full of dead mice and other small creatures, and not just a pretty songbird. Hi, this is Brick Benson. Join me again next time for episode 4 of Tony Goomba Get Out of Town. This thrill-packed episode is called Knock Knock. See you next time.
The Adventures of Brick Benson Ace Detective is an LCZ, Lou Cubic Zirconia production of the 5-episode series, Tony Goomba Get Out of Town, starring Lou Phillips, and features Casey Phillips as Monica Charday. All characters, other than Monica Charday, are played by Lou Phillips, also known as Lou Cubic Zirconia. Tony Goomba Get Out of Town is a parody, loosely based on Jack Webb and Richard L. Breen's first Pat Novak for Hire radio broadcast, Go Away Dixie Jillian, which first aired on November 24, 1946. Brick Benson's monologues are accompanied by Pedro Esparza's Noir No. 2. Please visit Music by Pedro on YouTube. Additional production music and sound effects are from FESLIYANSTUDIOS.com.